You're all looking at me, staring. But do you really see me? A very interesting question. Takes a lot of thought. Are you willing to take the time? Yet another good question. Oh, you're too busy running around trying so hard to be something so small. When you really stop and think about it, ask yourself, who am I? And what the hell am I doing? More questions. Well, all my life I've been searching for the answers, and along the way I've managed to formulate a few questions of my own. People think I'm crazy, nuts, insane. Whatever label you want to slap on me is fine, as long as you're willing to explain yourself. Well, I'll tell you something right now. I'm not crazy. I'm so sane that you just can't relate. And so it's easier for you to just medicalize my problem, sort of sweep me under the rug. I'm looking at you right now, and you know what I see? You know what I see? I take the time to stop running and to look around. The other day I was walking down the street and I saw this young, tight, weird little man in a three-piece suit, walking fast and erect. He passed me and I said, "Hello, how are you?" And without even looking in my direction, said in a monotone blurt, "Fine, thank you, yourself." And before I could even form two syllables, walked right on by. Gone. Then I started to wonder what his life must be like. Never seeing. Just blindly following a tasteless life. Using the word fine as a way to escape real human contact. Am I the only person who has the audacity to see? That can't be true. But sometimes I feel like I am, and it makes me feel depleted. Weak from fighting disconnection and ennui. I want to share with you some of the things that I've seen. The people I've studied. I took their pain and their joy and I formed my own opinions. Found a few answers. Whether or not I've hit the mark, I leave for you to decide. Well, there's no time like the present, so let's get started. Oh, and every once in a while, I'll be checking in on you, because I really want to know what you see and whether or not you've stopped running. Whew. Wow. I mean, a little harsh, I'd say. A little, hitting it over the head, right? Like, real in your face. I mean, calm down, man. Take a breath. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Sir, I'd like to talk to you. Well, get on with it. All right. Well, I've been working here for a long time, 6 months to be exact, and in all that time, I've never been late to the Piggly Wiggly, not once. And I'm always polite and courteous to the customers, except for that Miss Peabody. But she's older than the Farmer's Almanac and more ornery than a wild pig. Well, sir, I'd like a 10-cent an hour raise. Well, that's only 10 cents above the minimum required by law. What, sir? I thought you said no, but I couldn't quite hear you over them cash registers over there, just a slaving away. You did say no. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. That evil man, that no-good J.R. Ewing of a man. If I had any kind of a brain, I'd sling two decent thoughts together and give him a piece of my mind. Yes, sir, I would. I'd say something real elegant like one of them there poets. I'd say something like, "You suck the life out of me. You snatch my babies from their dream sleep in the middle of an ice cream cone. Cold sweat and innocent are we, and gone lick upon lick. The authoritarian tongues lap up what's left of our tomorrows. The flavor of the week has just gone out of stock, and the hand that writes our checks keeps time to the hand upon that clock. Punching in and punching out. Go home to your warm blanket. You steal a moment from me to eat your daily bread, however bitter, among the poor white trash, the cold hard cash, the wastelands, and the litter." Just do it. Just ask for that raise. You deserve it. You deserve it. You are good enough. You have a voice. Use it. Use it. Mother said I could be anyone. Mother told me that I was no one. Mother used to be so proud that I was her friend, that I was on stage. She was there too, though they were half her age. Mother pushed me into what she would. I did what she said. I did what I could to please the person who held the reins, who picked up the broken remains of my shattered heart. Mother was my publicist. What a good actor. What a funny character. Why weren't you louder? Your back was to the audience. You're going to get smacked if you don't stop. Mother's voice echoes inside my mind. See, I know she meant well, But everything can't be justified by a simple sorry, or I'll never do it again. Holy shit, my mother sat through that. She had to hear that. And it wasn't necessarily about her, but it was about her. I can't imagine now what that must have been like, sitting there, listening to that. Being judged. Oh, I'm sorry. I was staring. But you know, if someone were to ask me if I had a staring problem, I'd say yes, I do. Because damn it, I like staring at you. It makes me feel alive inside, and this warm, tingly feeling comes over me, like the sun on a luscious mid-July afternoon. Oh God, how embarrassing. There I go again. Staring at you, studying you, how you walk it and talk it. I envision you on a runway, modeling some line a designer has dubbed to be in for the season. Staring at you gives me this much pleasure, this much satisfaction. I only wish I could thank you, but words would make this relationship that I have with you in my head seem less magical and more like reality. And isn't there enough of that in the world? And so I take my looks and glances at you, long stretches of fantasy, because they are special. A gift you gave without even realizing that you gave it. And I wonder, as I admire, if this isn't some sort of love that I'm feeling. And I guess it is in a way, except love means reciprocation. And I've never caught you staring at me. Love, passion, that feeling, that moment when you connect. Hey Gertie, this is my last date. I swear to God I mean it this time. I'm not getting any younger. I'm sick and tired of peddling my ass door to door just to make a lousy buck. Besides, I'm not as smooth as I used to be. Can't demand the kind of treatment to which I've grown accustomed. For the first time in my life, I'm scared. This little boy from Tulsa used to grab the world by the balls, is scared shitless. I look in the mirror and all I see is this painted-on face that used to charm the pants off businessmen. I can't go around pretending to be out of work actor for the rest of my life. Fitting in quickies in between power lunches for a 100 spot? No way. Do you want to know the truth? I think I might be in love. This cold bitch just might have been caught, but I'm kind of scared of that too. Scared I might get involved with the same kind of man that used to solicit my services. I'm afraid I might wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat to find my lover gone off to visit another John. See, I've played the game, and I don't want to lose. But the thing is, I don't think I ever won. So I'm giving it up. And it's not because I found religion, because that's just a bunch of shit. It's because I want more. I want to stay with a man the whole night, and not because he paid me, but because he wants me to stay. I want to fall in love. Hey, Gertie, this is it. I'm finished. I'll go out on this one last date, but after this, I'm giving it up. Christ, Gertie, don't start with me. I know I'm just an old dried-up queen, but if I stay here and keep doing what I'm doing, that's all I'll ever be. I want more, Gertie. A lot more. I'm tired. Tired of lying to people about who I am and what I do. Last week I was all dolled up and sitting in this bar, and a nice regular guy sat next to me and bought me a drink. We had a conversation, and that was it. You know what I did? I sat there thinking, what does this guy want from me? And the thing that really got me was the answer. Nothing. He didn't want a goddamn thing. He was just nice. And Gertie, I'm not fucking used to that. A guy buys you a drink in a fag bar and it's a business deal. You take only as much as you're willing to give. But he gave, with honest eyes. The drinks were delivered and I started to cry. I mean, makeup smearing, it was all one hell of a mess. But he just looked at me, at this beaten down wreck, and smiled. Gertie, my whole life changed in that one specific moment. He picked me up and took me to a coffee bar. We stayed up all night dreaming. And you know what? He got me to believe. So I'm finished, but it's not what you think, because I've just started to live. He's waiting in the car. Here's the number of a John looking for a contact. Tell him from me that if he ever gets tired, to just go to a coffee bar and dream. Sometimes, it seems to me, I can only thrive on therapy. I figure out what's deep inside, what painful thoughts and dreams collide. I psychoanalyze my motivation for engaging in a conversation. I can point a finger and anger a friend, but I always come right back again, to the point to which I now proclaim, I am utterly and completely sane. There's nothing wrong, so what's wrong with that? This is where I find I'm at. The fact that I can say I'm cured of all the pain I've since endured seems to send a chill up and down my spine. There's nothing to say because I'm fine. I'm fine. I was fine then, I'm fine now. And I can be in therapy and be fine. You don't have to be broken to work on yourself.